All right, hello everyone. Welcome back to a new episode of the City Guys podcast. Coming back after another match week loss. This time to Austin FC at home. Rude, how you doing? What'd you think of this match?
I did not like this match one bit. I mean, this was a heartbreaking loss. I mean, now we're what, 2-2-2, so this was not a good result. Let's get straight into it. Do you want to go over the match recap
Yeah,
here?
yeah. Overall, this was kind of a uneventful match, kind of like the Philadelphia one. To where City just didn't really generate a ton of chances in this game. They had 16 total shots, but they registered zero big chances, which is kind of crazy. To be fair to them, Austin only had one, and they had fewer shots and a lower XG. So I actually think the defense played pretty solidly for City, like it has all year. But the problem is just the attack is just not creating enough chances. We're not scoring like any goals right now, and you're just not gonna. Obviously, you can't win if you don't score, but you can't rely on your defense to keep a clean sheet every single game. So it's just a very disappointing performance from St. Louis City, especially to drop points at home. It's very unfortunate.
I completely agree. I mean, the one goal that they scored was it was Horn was out of position and they had Nielsen come out of the box to go defend that right winger.
Mhm.
And yeah, he Nielsen just got cooked because Nielsen didn't want to foul him in the box when he got in, and yeah, I mean Nielsen got cooked, and then I don't know who scored. It was Ozuni, I think he scored,
Yeah,
and yeah, I mean, the defense played really well. I once again, I mean, other than that one mistake by Horn not being there to guard to protect Nielsen from the winger, I think that
hmm
we the defense played really well. Attack is generally the problem here. And I mean, since Austin scored that goal kind of early, what was that like first 30 minutes ish? They basically
yeah.
just sat back and parked the bus. They did exactly what we did. And Austin also have a very similar playing style to us. They basically also they try to score and they just park the bus the entire game. So it was
Mhm.
basically like playing against us after we were up. But I mean, yeah, St. Louis City of course did get the majority of the possession. We had 64%, and that's generally just probably with the game script being Austin parking the bus, so we had obviously more chances. But I mean, yeah, we had 16 total shots compared to Austin's 8, and we had an XG of 0.80, and Austin only had a point XG or XG of 0.76. I mean,
Yeah.
what do you think is wrong with our attack here? Like, what is the issue here? Like, what are you thinking?
Well, I mean, in this game, we had the majority of the possession and we just didn't do anything with it. I think we're definitely a team that prefers to play on the counter attack, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of been our weakness pretty much forever is not being a great possession based team. I still think that's true. I think the midfield that they rolled out today was obviously we didn't have Leuven because of the red card suspension from last game. So we're missing our best kind of playmaker in the midfield or our
Uh,
best passer. So the guys they kind of rolled out there, you had Durkin, you had Morales, you had Vollum. None of those guys really could create too much,
no.
which was very unfortunate because I feel like this was definitely a winnable game. I don't think Austin played like terrific or like um, super great in this game by any means.
Uh huh.
So I think there's definitely a missed opportunity from City. In terms of what's wrong with the attack, I really don't know. I don't have like an answer, I guess, but I think they need to. Melberg just needs to pick an attack and keep rolling with it going forward. I mean, it's basically been completely different every single game, and or the formation up front's been different. Which I think it hurts because you're not able to build any sort of chemistry or momentum.
Mm-hmm.
With that,
For
I mean,
sure.
for this game, we saw Hartle and Becker as the two attackers, which I don't really like Hartle playing kind of like a central attacking
Yeah.
role up top. I feel like he's more of a playmaker, kind of like a cam or like a
Mm-hmm.
winger,
For sure.
not necessarily like a striker, the shadow
Mm.
striker that they kind of try to make him in this game.
Yeah.
And then Becker, kind of similar. I feel like he's a guy that plays off of another striker up top. So you put two guys who I don't think they can create chances, but you didn't have anyone up there that could finish any.
Hmm.
So overall, I just think this lineup was kind of disastrous. It
It
kind of felt like
was.
they were just throwing guys out there and didn't really take into account their play styles or chemistry or any
Yeah.
sort of like build up play. So yeah, another kind of disastrous performance. I feel like, and another another bad lineup from Melberg, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, ever since that Berkey injury, we've kind of been rolling with like 7 or 8 defensive minded players. And
Hmm.
in this game, we had 4 center backs like starting, which in my opinion should
Yeah,
not be happening with our team here, man. I mean, we started Nielsen, Kessler, Yarrow, and Horn. Granted, Horn kind of played that wingback role, but I kind of feel like he should have just stuck with that back three of Horn, Heber, and Kessler, and then had probably Akil Watts or more of like a Conrad Valum kind of playing in those left wing back, right wing back roles. Because I
yeah.
mean, I don't know. Giannis Horn is really good defensively. I mean, we've really seen that. I don't know how much he really provides on the attack. And I really think that if you had someone like Valum on that left side, it would have been much better rather than Valum kind of playing in and out in that midfield. I don't know what he was playing. But I mean, it once again, I mean, I'm sounding like a broken record every single week here. We need to have like a proper number 9, and I really think that Klaus is that number 9 that we need. I mean, Teuscher has been injured. I think his this he's supposed to come back late April, so it's some sort of like a hamstring injury or something. But I
Hmm.
mean, this attack is unacceptable. I mean, our bench players had more of an impact in the game than our starters did. I mean, we subbed on what Klaus in the 68th minute, and Pompeu in the
Yeah,
61st minute, and Baumgartel in the 85th minute. Those were our subs. And I mean, Pompeu, he's making a case to be a solidified either starter or an actual like a role player in this team. I mean, to be honest, I really want to see Melberg actually kind of experiment here with this. Pompeo performance is really good. So you know what I was kind
hmm,
of thinking is you still go with the what 3 in the back, Kessler, Horn, Hebert. The wing backs would be still Valum and Akil Watts probably, and then that midfield you'd probably have what the Dirk and Lewin combo. So that's a
yeah,
5, 6, 7, and then the front three I think should be Klaus, Hartel, and Pompeu, and then have Simon Becher playing that super sub role, which I really think that Simon Becher coming off the bench is lethal, man. But I want to see Melberg try that lineup because I really think that Klaus and Pompeu really play well together, and I think that Pompeu's with the creativity that we actually need to score.
I actually thought Pompeu, when he came on, was the best player on the pitch. He actually created a lot, and I feel like he offers something that nobody else on the squad does. And I feel like maybe that's why Melberg doesn't want to start him, is because he doesn't really fit that kind of robotic scheme that Melberg's trying to play. Because Pompeo is kind of an individualistic kind of flair player that's gonna kind of improvise, isn't gonna follow like a set structure,
Yeah.
which is the complete opposite of what Melberg's trying to do. But I don't know. I thought he came in, played really well. He's played well in the few appearances he's had this season.
Hmm.
I would not mind him getting a start
Yeah.
in the next game or getting at least some more playing time because I mean the best chances for City in this game came in at the very end when Pompeo and Klaus and Baumgartel came in as a striker, which was kind of weird, but I actually think that was
It wasn't bad.
um, a
Yeah.
pretty it was a pretty smart move from Melberg because it added a lot of height in the box,
Uh huh.
which we
And
had a huge height advantage over Austin. I feel like at the end of that game, and Baumgartel
he almost
had
scored.
two really good chances at the
Yeah.
end, yeah, to score. So I thought the subs were actually really good from Melberg, um, but I think there's just a lot of questions going forward about this attack and the midfield. Um, just kind of unfortunate because I feel like we've been saying this every week, and it just has not gotten better. If anything, it's actually gotten worse
Yeah.
from a few weeks ago.
I completely agree. I mean, this win, I mean, Austin basically parked the bus the entire game, so obviously we weren't able to really do much in terms of that. But I mean, still, man, I really do think that our finishing needs to get much better. There was multiple opportunities that we probably could have scored, but we ended up not scoring. Specifically, being
Yeah,
that one Baumgartel, he kind of just missed it. That net, it was like I think he came sliding in and he just missed the ball. But I mean, in that last like what 20 minutes of the game, we looked amazing in my opinion. We looked very good. Like we
right.
this is what we should be doing the entire 90 minutes. And I don't know why
Mhm.
every single week we decide to start off with that ultra defensive, I don't know, like the parking the bus formation. And I mean,
Right.
also like not having that number 9 Toysher being out, I really want to see Klaus start here. I mean, this is like a perfect opportunity to actually start Klaus. Toysher being out for what, a couple weeks now. So either Melberg, he either needs to start Klaus or look for a number 9 in the transfer window in the summer. Like, I mean, I genuinely just don't know. Like, we can't keep on playing these secondary strikers together because they need someone to build off of. And I really don't think that
Mhm.
if you don't have a true number 9, there's no point in actually having that. So either
Yeah.
either start Klaus or actually look for a number 9 in the summer window. That's all that I really have.
No, I agree. I think if things don't get better, they're gonna have to make some changes in the summer,
I mean,
especially when it comes to striker.
yeah, I mean, looking at we've scored we're third to last in goals scored. Only Montreal and New England
Hmm.
have scored less, and New England's played one fewer game than us, so that could very well
Yeah,
change. I mean, attack is generally our 4 goals in 6 games is atrocious, man.
it's terrible.
Like,
Yeah,
and
and I mean,
then
three of them came in one game.
yeah, so basically, yeah, that's horrible. I mean, and not
We've only scored in 2 games this year.
and also not having like a single person with more than 1 goal is insane right now. Like we really should be having a
Yeah.
guy who has at least 2 goals, man. I mean, d- I feel like the question here is: do you think Melberg is in trouble? Like, do you think his position at this club is in trouble right now?
No, I don't think so. Because at the end of the day, like 6 games in, you're what, 2 wins, 2 draws, two
Two
losses.
losses, yeah.
Not terrible, especially considering last year where we were one of the worst teams of the league.
Uh huh.
Because right now we sit in ninth, I believe, in the table, so we're still in a playoff spot, and we've had probably, I don't know, I don't have like it pulled up, but I would assume one of the harder schedules in the MLS
We do.
to open the year. I mean, we've played every single week. We've played pretty good teams so far.
Yeah,
Um, so I will give him a little bit of credit there, and I do think the work that he's done on the defense
it's phenomenal.
can't be understated. Because I mean, we were one of the worst defensive teams the last couple of years in MLS, and now we're one of the best, if not the best, um, in the league, which is just ridiculous to say. I don't think
Uh
anyone would
huh.
have expected that. But yeah, I agree. I don't like the idea of parking the bus
No.
at the start of the game. I don't know why you park the bus when it's 0-0. Doesn't really make too much sense to me.
Yeah.
Um, and I don't know. I think Melberg is still kind of finding his footing a little bit, and he's still kind of playing things out with the lineup. So we'll see. Um, I think maybe the ultra defensive kind of lineups and game plan and schemes that he's been rolling out with. Obviously, we kind of expected a little bit because he's a center back by trade, and it's kind of the similar to what he rolled out in
Yeah.
Sweden when he
Uh
was a
huh.
coach over there.
Yeah.
But I also question if he's doing that because he doesn't have a lot of faith in our attack,
That's
and he's not
possible.
a big fan of the players that we have now. Which maybe that means we're going to get a lot of moves in the transfer window this summer. Um, so yeah, I think there's a lot of question marks on this team right now. But we have a really solid defense,
For sure.
and it's not like this team is super far away. I don't think from contending or being a top two team. Because really, if we just had a slightly better attack, we'd have so many more points already
Yeah.
this season. Because both of our losses were 1-0. We had 2-0 draws. We've been contending in every single
Uh
game
huh.
this year. We haven't gotten blown off the ball. So um,
I
I don't
mean,
know. I think it's disappointing, especially to lose at home, back to back losses. but I still think it's fine. Like I'm
Yeah,
not
I
super
got you.
worried. I'm not hitting the panic button at all.
Yeah. I mean, this his game style really reminds me of something that like I could see Atletico Madrid be playing, like with that park the bus and playing off the
Hmm.
counter. But I mean, the one thing that Atletico Madrid makes it work because their players can like fit that scheme. And I feel
Hmm.
like the issue with our team is that we generally just cannot fit that scheme. Like I mean, the players are all kind of used to that old Hackworth Carnell ball basically, and I really just don't think that the players are used to uh, Melberg's, I don't know, style of play here. So I mean,
Hmm.
in the summer, I would like to see if they do decide to stick with Melberg here. I would like to see Melberg try to get some players who are actually more adept to this new style of play. I mean, I do still think that he makes some questionable decisions in the lineups here. I mean, we do have a lot of our most creative players on the bench. I mean, Ostrak
Yeah,
has been very good. Like I feel like he's kind of like a he's flying under the radar right now, and he's been pretty damn good. I really like what I'm seeing from Ostrak, even though he has very limited game
yeah,
time. He and Pompeu have kind of stood out to me with their creative playmaking, and I really do think that like in the future, Melberg really should consider these two. You know, I mean, if we're going to score goals, I really think that it'll come from these guys. And I mean, looking at our schedule here, let's talk about the schedule. It's a pretty brutal schedule. We play Kansas City, which is, I mean, they're arguably one of the worst teams in the league. But after that, it is rough. We play Columbus, Vancouver, LAFC, Seattle, San Diego, and then KC again. So, what is that?
yeah,
5 straight games of just tough opponents. Like, I mean, we really need to like lock in here in these next couple weeks.
yeah. Talk about the this next game against Kansas.
Yeah, I mean, Kansas City, they're currently sitting at the bottom of the West, 15th place. And I mean, they have been horrible. Like, this team has been atrocious. Out of their 6 games played, 0 wins, 1 draw, 5 losses. And I mean, they've scored more goals than we have. There's 6 goals, 12 conceded.
Mhm.
So I mean, their defense is not very good, and they just fired their head coach. So I mean, this
Yeah,
had to happen the week that we come and play in Kansas City. So I mean, they couldn't have kept him for one more week, you know, just to give us that free win.
yeah. I mean, it felt like a long time coming. I'm kind of everyone kind of expected him to get fired in the off season
Mm-hmm.
because of how bad they were. But he was there for
17.
17 years. Yeah, he was
Yeah.
there when it was the Kansas City Wizards, which
Jeez.
is kind of crazy. I mean, has to be the longest serving coach in MLS history. He's one of the longest serving coaches in football history.
Uh huh.
But yeah, I'm kind of surprised that they kept him for this year and then gave up on him
Yeah.
so early. But at the same time, I mean, Kansas has 1 point in 6 games. That's ridiculously
It is
bad.
terrible. Uh,
That it has to be the worst in the league. I can't imagine a team is worse than that.
yeah.
But yeah, going to Kansas, a place where we've actually really struggled
Mm-hmm.
historically. We've never won there, despite playing probably 6 or so games. I want to say there over 2 years, but it's kind of been a struggle for us going there.
Yeah.
So getting our first ever win at Children's Mercy Park would be absolutely
Massive.
massive for this team, especially right now, coming off of back-to-back losses and with the schedule coming up. This is a must win. Like we need these
Yeah.
3 points here because I don't see us getting a ton of points after this, at least in those next 5 or so games where we go through that gauntlet of a schedule.
Mm-hmm.
So if we don't get this win here, I think we're actually going to be in a really bad position going forward. Um, but like you said, SKC's defense is pretty ass. It's they've conceded 12 goals this year, which is good news for us because obviously we can't really score so much. So maybe it's kind of like a stoppable force meets a movable object. So,
I
um, but
no,
I don't
yeah.
see us losing this game. I don't think we're going to concede. I'm going to say it's either going to be a 0-0 draw or it's going to be like a 1-0 City win, in my opinion.
Yeah. I mean, this is like we actually have to get these 3 points. Like I would not accept a draw here because, I mean, Kansas City has been that bad. They are. I was looking at the standings. They are the worst team in the MLS right now. They have
Yeah.
1 point, and I mean, like this is genuinely like a horrible team, man. I don't know. They can't like get anything like strung together. Their attack has been kind of abysmal. I mean, they've scored more goals than us at least, but that defense has been in shambles. So we have to take advantage of this game. Like, I mean, we're missing. I mean, we're missing what Toysher, Berkey, and Totland. Those are like our main players that were out. But I mean, we're getting
Right.
Lewin back this week. So I mean, I would also like to see. I do think that this might be the week that Klaus starts here because I mean, I really
I
don't
think
see.
so.
I don't see any other like option, with that attack. But I want to see us coming out guns blazing in this game. Like I know I said that last week against the Austin game, but we need to come out guns blazing in this game. Basically, if Melberg decides to stick with that parking the bus formation, we have to score early. We can't just sit back and let Kansas put on the pressure.
No, I 100% agree. I would be kind of not shocked, but I would be pretty surprised if Klaus doesn't start because I feel like this could be a very physical game
Uh huh.
with that Kansas back line. They're known for being a little slower, but a very physical back line.
Yeah.
So putting a bigger striker out there like Klaus. I mean, we remember last year when we went there and Klaus had that little body check goal, or
Yeah. Yeah.
was it a
Yeah.
goal or I think it was an assist
It's
where
an
he kind of
assist, I
body checked
think.
him and
Yeah.
then passed it to Celio. So it's going to be a lot very similar to that. I feel like very physical. So I think playing Klaus would make a lot of sense, and I would be interested to see if Celio gets a start. I would say probably not.
I.
Um, I think maybe making two changes like that would be a little bit too much from last week,
Uh
but
huh.
you never know. I mean, with how bad the attack has been, like I don't think it's unwarranted to
Hmm.
make a double change like that.
I. I mean, I Celio genuinely like if there's a game that you start Celio, I think it might be this one. He has so much pace,
Mm,
and this Kansas City
yeah.
backline is generally pretty slow. I mean, they're kind of like dysfunctional. They can't really get much done together. I mean, there's not much chemistry behind this backline. So if you have someone who can get behind them with ease like Celio can, I mean, like you looked in the Austin game, he was pretty much like cooking their right back. He was pretty much cooking their right back. You saw him
Mhm.
get multiple passes into the box. I mean, if there's a game that you start Celio, I really think that it's this game. Like he's
Yeah.
definitely the creativity that we need. I mean, starting Hartel and Celio, I think would be like the right option behind Klaus. Maybe start them as attacking midfielders. But I mean,
Right.
that's just what I think will happen. That's what I think that should happen. But other than that, I mean,
Mm,
like I think a 2-0 win. I think 2-0. Kansas City, we have to take advantage of this, man.
yeah. I'll go 1-0. I think we are able to get a goal early and then play our defensive game that we like
Yeah,
to play.
interesting.
In Kansas, I just don't think they'll be able to generate anything.
I mean, if we lose this game, we probably would drop down to like 10th or 11th place here. Like this is not a game that we can
Yeah,
afford to lose. Because after the next
yeah.
five
If we lose
weeks,
this game, yeah,
eh,
then it's time to start hitting the panic button. I feel like,
yeah,
um,
I mean, yeah, if we get our points here and then come out with a couple draws here and there, maybe a win or maybe a win maybe in the next couple of weeks too against some of these tough
mhm,
teams, I feel like we're in a good spot. Because then we play Kansas City again at the end because they kind of sandwich together all these hard ass teams. But I mean, this Kansas game is a must win in my opinion. Like we have to win this game. We
yeah,
have to come out three. But
I
yeah,
completely agree. Yep, and it's going to be a big rivalry game.
it is a huge
You know, the
rivalry
boys are
game.
going to be ready. So, uh,
Yeah,
yeah, I'm
I'm.
kind of disappointed I'm not going to be able to go to it. I like going to these games. These are my favorite games to go to, the
Uh
ones in Kansas. But it's just didn't really work out schedule
yeah.
wise. So
I
um,
mean,
I don't know. I
yeah. Go
here,
on.
go ahead.
I mean, there's a game at home. I think early in the summer, so I think
Right,
you will be
I'll
at
be
that
there
game.
for
I'll
that.
be at
Yeah,
that game. So I feel
well,
like everybody will be at that game. So we'll have the entire City Guys squad
mhm,
there, hopefully.
yeah, hopefully. But yeah, I think that just about wraps it up. A little bit of a shorter episode, kind of a
Yeah.
melancholy, depressed episode. But hopefully next week we'll come out with a win against Kansas, a little
Yeah.
bit better mood.
Yeah, more
But
positive
thank you guys
mood.
for watching. Yeah, thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys next week.